I haven't been feeling great recently. Mentally, physically, I'm pretty okay. I just feel like someone went into my body and took my lust and love for life, and they crumpled it up into a little ball. They threw it into the garbage can. There's been a few different things on my mind. I don't even know if they're all totally coherent thoughts. But to try to get back some of my lust and love for life, I thought I'd do a little self-care night. Will that bring it back to me? That's neither here nor there. I got this face mask at CVS. I'm pretty sure all face masks are the equivalent of putting Bath & Body Works hand soap on your face, even if they say there aren't, but I don't really care, because it's gonna make me feel like I'm doing something, and that's sometimes how you gotta start stuff. So I got a question the other day on my little question forum that you can find on my Instagram or YouTube or whatever. And the question said, what's your favorite activity you've ever done / been a part of? Sports, school, food, a good date, anything in life. And I was thinking about it for a little while, and I wasn't really sure if I had an answer, which is horrible, I think. This person even kind of gave me a softball with it by listing some things that I could have remembered being a part of that I loved, the best thing. And I thought about it, and I just couldn't really think of anything. When it comes to sports, I was never into sports. I was never a part of the national winning team who won the nationals or whatever you win in high school sports. In school, I wasn't really involved in any activities. I was in volunteer club, but the most we did in volunteer club was volunteering at a haunted house. And in a haunted house, if you didn't know, there's a lot of fog and it makes you lose your voice. And it was 6 hours of just dropping a door and I was stuck in a corner with some guy who I think was my sister's age, so he was probably a senior when I was a sophomore, and he sent me an email after we did the thing together. No thanks, guy. Thanks, but no thanks. And then the other examples, well, I agree, you can have a best food. I can think of my favorite food I've ever had, or the best date I've ever had. But I feel that shouldn't necessarily be the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life, or the best thing I've ever been a part of. I think that's one of the things I've been kind of contemplating recently, which is making me kind of depressed. One, sort of being a part of something. I've been a part of teams that have done cool stuff, I think, but nothing that I've ever felt I was a major contributor to. And it makes me feel kind of lonely. I don't know if lonely is the exact right word, but I was thinking the other day how 5 years in the future, where do I want my life to be? What do I want to have accomplished? And I don't know. I don't have any clue. I can vaguely guess where I want to be in 5 years, but I'm not even sure if that's exactly where I want to be. For example, with my career. I love my career, but there's 2 different roads that I could go down. One is the realistic road, which is where I sort of stay low-key, work my way up in my company, which is fine, and that's good. And I think that could be fulfilling in some ways. But then there's the other side where, the unrealistic big dream of it all, hoping to have my own big project that I'm working on, some feature film or some big campaign. And I think it's good to dream big, but right now I don't feel like I'm making any tangible steps to be a part of that. Sort of circling back to the initial question. Since I haven't so far in my life, I don't even know how I would recognize if I was being a part of something big, spearheading something big, unless it was laid out very clearly to me. This will change the world, which never happens, obviously. It just kind of makes me want to call my mom, be like, hey, can you tell me what I'm supposed to do with my life? Can you tell me what my dreams and passions are? I don't feel like figuring it out for myself. But I can't do that, obviously. I think I also have a romantic mindset when it comes to this question. There probably is something that I've been a part of, that is the most interesting or biggest thing that I've ever done in my life, and I just can't remember now because I'm being a depressed bee. But being someone who loves a good film and television show and book and fictional stories, in all of those things, there's this idea that there's a grander purpose for people. Sort of, the movie Soul, for example. Good movie. Like that movie. Especially the ending part where he realizes that his purpose didn't really matter. It was the little things in his life. And I remember distinctly crying my freaking eyes out over the helicopter whirl that came down. But being someone who's an avid enjoyer of those type of movies, I think that skews my perception on what is my passion or big moment. Because I think I also do agree that people don't have one true calling, that life is mostly about the little moments. But I don't think it's crazy for me to wish that I've had at least some big triumphant moment. You know, I've never won the big game or had the great applause after a show, whatever. And I won it, even though I know that wouldn't change how I feel afterwards. Like, it would just feel really good for a little bit. But what's bad with that mindset is it's very limiting. Like, I'm not going to manifest my way into some grand moment if I keep thinking that it will never happen. So it's kind of on me to change that mindset. But I feel like I'm kind of half in, half out. One foot in the door, one foot out the door. Like, I'm at a point where I have to, like, make a decision for me to either live a more grand life or for me to just live a regular life. And both wouldn't be without their trials and tribulations and good moments and bad moments. But I just feel like I'm at that point. Basically, the feeling that I need to focus on something, whatever that is. But that's the fun part. I'm only 24, which I keep thinking I'm 25, but I'm only 24. My birthday's in March. Quite literally, unless I die within the next year or 2 or 3, whatever. I have a lot of time to figure out what that big grand moment will be. But I'm impatient, and I want to start moving into motion sooner than later. But good things take time. Good things take time. I think I'm supposed to take this face mask off now. While I don't think this face mask did anything, I think if I would have put it in the fridge, it would have felt really good on my face, considering it was kind of cold anyways, but I think it could have felt really good. It feels good. It feels relaxing. There's something nice about the 15 minutes you have to wait between the before and after, which is usually no difference, but it forces you into contemplation, I swear to God, because you can't really do anything with a face mask on. You're kind of stuck sitting where you are. I think after I do this face mask, I'm gonna do my skincare routine and then some nail polish, my nails. Ugh. And I am clean. Sorry you're so far away. This was honestly the best angle that I could think of. I'll do some close-up shots, you know? So I think another reason that I've been feeling kind of off my rocker a little bit is because in the last week, I think I hung out with someone 5 out of the 7 days of the week, if not 7 out of 7 days of the week, depending on what I'm counting as hanging out with someone. It's good to be social from time to time, and I would definitely consider myself a bit of an extrovert. You know, I don't need a crazy reset for my social battery. Also, I forgot to say, going with a little red color, mostly because this is one of the fastest drying nail polishes that we own. The rest of them are old and rotting. You know, when it's like that goop and you just never throw it away because Sue throws nail polish away. I don't know. You just hoard it. Anyways, I think a way that it's very apparent that I'm maybe over-socializing, not over-socializing, but over-socializing, is that doing my artist way, actually, they have these things called artist dates, and I'm on week 3 now, and for the first 2 weeks, I for some reason simply could not find a time to just go do something by myself that's fulfilling creatively. I did creatively fulfilling things. Like, I did some sewing, I made a shirt that I wore out, and the shirt was so cute, but I think maybe I was just feeling too much of a type of way because every picture I took in it was fucking fugly. Didn't even get a good picture of the shirt by itself to post or like remember the outfit that I wore out. Not that that matters, but I wanted to get a picture of it because it's really cute. I'll put in a picture of it so you can see, but also maybe it wasn't necessarily that I was looking fugly or whatever, but it was more that my 4'11" friend was taking the pictures and she was not hitting my best angle. Let's just say that. I don't regret going out because you know it was a fun time when the next morning you wake up and the first text you read is one of your friends saying, I need to be arrested. And then the other friend saying that she's still drunk from the night before on the bus wearing her makeup from the night before, which personally, that's hell for me. I would be not on the bus, let's just say that. I'd either be still where I woke up or I would be in an Uber. I don't care how much it is. Anyways, that night was very good. But we were out until, I think we got home at 3. My friends and I tend to have a tendency where if we're not all like heading home at an appropriate time, then we will be shutting the place down and probably being annoying while doing it. Not annoying, but you know what I mean. If I was a bartender and I had like a squad of people who were just being loud, granted it's a bar, but I don't think I would entirely love that. Anyways, going out that night, I think that was like the 5th hang that I've had of the week, and I pushed through, but the next day I felt, while I was hungover physically slightly, it could have been worse, honestly. I was able to do stuff the next day, like I went to the gym and whatever, so that means I was not that down bad, but I felt like a whole of a person. Like I had expended every single ounce of energy that I had in my body, which is probably why I laid in bed until 1 p.m., even though I was physically alright. So while I do love that I've been getting out and about more and more social and seeing my friends, because those are my girls. Never regret a hang with the girls. But this week I need to carve out like a weekday, because I was hanging out with a bunch of people during the week too, which I like because it makes me have something to look forward to after work. But then there's always the moment after the hang ends and you realize, oh, it's 12 and I have to wake up and go to work tomorrow. And I don't want to do that. So I think this week I really need to not hang out with anyone during the week. Maybe like one day during the week, and that better be like sitting and watching TV, which is always a good hang in my opinion. But I think I've exerted all my mental energy to the max. Because again, I'm feeling like I'm 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door, where I could hypothetically focus on hanging out with my friends and hanging out with people and kind of being in the moment, or I could focus more on my personal endeavors, personal growth. I guess you can do both at the same time. I'm trying to figure that out, I guess. So I kind of did a bad job with my nails. Can't really see. Went a little bit outside the lines. That's alright. It'll wash off. Since I've been speaking so negatively this whole video, time to talk about some good things. Well, goodish things. Kind of pointless shit that's been bringing me a little bit joy recently while I do my skincare. My skincare routine kind of sucks. Not sucks. It's very basic in a world of a 10-step skincare routine. We're sitting at a solid 3, sometimes 4, depending on what time of day it is. Starting with toner, which I don't know if that'll mix with the face mask very well, but if I have an allergic reaction, then that was my fate. Anyways, what I've been getting joy from recently, I started watching Traitors. If you haven't watched Traitors, you should. I'm a big reality TV buff fan. And I've watched some of the other seasons of Traitors, and I would watch like a part of them and then kind of give up halfway through once like a few people that I liked went away. But this season, first of all, the Traitors all being housewives, well, Rob is not a housewife, but fits in that category of kind of just being a true reality TV person, not so much like a competitor. Also, that man is fine. That's a fine man. Kind of in a way where it's like hard to look at him. Then I'm gonna use this lactic acid. I've been trying to give some bounce to my skin, but even without him being fine AF. Well, I think a part of the reason that I think this season's interesting is one with Rob. The only person to pick up on him being like good looking to the point where people are gonna just ignore every shady thing he's doing is very correct. I saw a video where someone was saying how he's doing really well, not only because he is smart and is doing well, but the housewives, no one's really thinking that it could be him or them, because as the game usually like had like 1 or 2 gamers in the trader position. I really like no gamers in the trader position because I think that it takes the typically very overthought back and forth thinking where, you know, if they're gonna kill someone, like, well, if we kill them, they're gonna think that this person did it, but then they're gonna think that this person did it because they're thinking that person's gonna pin that person. They're doing a little bit of that, but I think they're kind of just cutting the head off the snake before like a rumor can even start. If you watch season Monet, I was sad to see Monet go, but I do think that was probably the smartest thing they could have done, just kind of eliminating the problem before it happened. I think there are some elements of the show, like any show, where there's some stuff that's like, okay, like, come on now. But it's been fun to watch. I like watching the housewives do anything, even though I've never really watched the housewives as their show. I do think they're very entertaining when they're on literally anything else. And they're probably entertaining on their show. I don't really like shows that are too much about just interpersonal fighting, which is why I don't like clock into the Housewives, but what else? I mean, seeing my friends and my boyfriend is obviously a good part of my current life, but aside from that, it's been really cold in Chicago. Today I think it was 5 degrees when I had to go to work. Didn't love that. And then when I went into the office, you know, usually there's some reprieve from the freaking tundra outside, but it was so cold I had to wear my scarf the whole day sitting inside. Also, I'm probably putting on my skin stuff wrong. I know you're supposed to wipe up, and I try to wipe up. I would also guess that the cold has been compromising my mood. And I don't even get seasonal depression like that. I think it's just been the lack of being able to go outside. Like, I want to take a walk so bad. I want to sit in a field and not be freezing my ass off. Because sometimes when it's cold, you can still go outside and enjoy the outside. Not right now. Not right now. It's just kind of torturous and painful. Having to wait and stand for public transportation makes it 10 times more torturous and painful. I think I just feel weird. Also, I was thinking about my channel as a whole, my YouTube channel. Because I love doing my video essays. But I can't really think of any topics right now. Especially with like trying not to be on social media as much, it's kind of hard to make commentary if I'm not involved in it necessarily. And also a lot of it, like a lot of the videos that I see, I'm just like, what's the point? There are videos and there are people that I'm like, thank you for talking about this. This is interesting and good information and whatever. But a lot of ones I see, I'm like, is that even worth talking about? Aside from to point it out and react to it, like it feels pointless. I love making my video essays. Don't have any freaking ideas right now. We'll see if I can churn one out in the next week or two to post one, because I've been kind of doing if you follow along, a schedule where I do like one casual video like this and then a video essay and back and forth, but I don't have any ideas and I want them to be more interactive, sort of like how my last one was. But those ones don't always do as well because it's not me just like reacting to people and like trying to make fun of them. Not that my videos were ever necessarily like that, but I don't have a jumping off point right now. Like everything else in my damn life. But I do like just sitting and talking. It's very nice to just sit and like talk what's on my mind, even if it's maybe not very interesting to everyone. I think it's soothing for myself. I wish I was a big journaler, but I just can't really get into it that much. I don't know why. I always forget about it. Aside from my artist way, which is journaling, but I am trying to not have that be totally just like, this is what I did today, this is what I'm gonna do this week. Like, I hope this is interesting. The whole time you can probably hear my roommate and our friends watching RuPaul's Drag Race out there. I've also been really tired the past literal week. I think it's partially because my sleep schedule was just messed up, and it's been messed up since the holidays. We're in a recovery era. New Year's can start when it hits my birthday, when I'm turned 25. Mid-20s. Oh yeah, that's another thing to contemplate. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope this was good or something like that. So I guess this video was just a little moment in time of how I'm feeling. A little video diary, you could say. So yeah, I think it's bedtime. It was a good self-care night.